The Kia Niro is all new for the 2023 model year, available with only hybrid or EV powertrains. Should be pretty efficient, but just how efficient? Today, we're going to find out. This is Chris here with Daily Motor, and today we've got the real-world highway fuel economy test on the 2023 Kia Niro Hybrid. Before we get started, let's hop out, take a look at it. Quite a bold design on this new Niro. We've got a ton of new design elements from Kia in this new wagon, crossover, whatever you want to call this thing. I like to think of it as a wagon because it makes it seem just that much cooler. Air blades on the back, the super cool green color. This is the SX Touring, so we have 18-inch wheels on this car, but 16-inch wheels are available. So keep that in mind. Shouldn't affect things too much, but just like to always point out the things like that. The Niro is available with a traditional hybrid like we have here, a plug-in hybrid, or as a full EV. All of them are front-wheel drive, and all of them look just like this. So let's go ahead and get started with our test, see just how efficient this Niro hybrid is. So why do we run this test? Well, the EPA's fuel economy test, which gives this Kia Niro 45 MPG on the highway, only averages 48 miles per hour, and we know that some people like to take their cars on actual road trips. So what we're going to do today is go out 50 miles and back 50 miles, averaging 70 miles per hour to get a more real-world figure. A couple of things worth noting for today's test. Outside temperature is 56 degrees Fahrenheit. We're going to be running the climate control inside the cabin at 73 degrees auto, as we always do. Tire pressures have been set to their factory door placard indicated 36 psi cold, and we're going to be using the same gas pump both times, using the same 3-click filling method to get the most accurate results possible. Okay, let's hop out, grab our first fill. 3.5 gallons going in there for our first fill. Look at that, $12 even. I always like when my dollar amounts are zeroed off like that. Okay. Let's go ahead and set this to auto low, 73 degrees. That has reset itself and zeroed itself out. Trip is running on the GPS. Let's get Waze going. Okay. Let's go ahead and get started. Now, we have two drive modes on the Kia Niro. They are Eco and Sport. There's no normal mode for the Niro, but it makes sense. This is an economical vehicle, so we are already defaulted into Eco mode, and that is the mode that we will be running in for today's test. I'm going to drive through this minefield here. Try not to smash a wheel. And highway's about a half mile away. Gonna drive nice and slow until we get there, and I'll update you all when I am merging on. Now, the purpose of this test is not to hypermile. I'm simply going to merge onto the highway, set the cruise control to a GPS indicated 72 miles per hour, and just drive like any normal person would. First, we have to merge on. Only got about 140 horsepower here in this Kia Niro, so merging doesn't happen super quickly. Not that I would have been flooring it today anyways, but first highway impressions of the Kia Niro, well, it's just about what you'd expect. It's not quite as quiet and comfortable as a larger SUV, but it's quite all right. This is a pretty slippery car, and well, you can tell that by the pretty minimal wind intrusion. We actually have what's called air blades on the back of this car, those black kind of Audi R8 looking things on the back of this. They're actually there for aerodynamics. They take the air and they kind of channel it around the back of the car to make this car more aerodynamic, so pretty neat. Otherwise, we do have a Harman Kardon sound system in this car. If you want to learn more about that, we will have a link to Charlie's sound system test over on DM Sound in the description, clustered together with all of the other links. Additionally, we have all of the regular Kia highway driving assists in this Niro. We've got the steering and lane keep assist, as well as adaptive cruise. So pretty much everything you need to just sit here and let the car do the work. Combined MPG on this is in the 50s, but this is a hybrid, so it's always going to do better in the city. The highway is not really where hybrids excel, so I'm not entirely expecting this even to meet its EPA rating of 45 because they average a little bit of a lower speed than we do at 70. So expecting somewhere around 40 MPG once everything is said and done, but I'm going to go ahead and get settled into this Niro, and I'll catch up with you all once I am towards the end of my journey. wrapping up our drive here in the Kia Niro hybrid and indicated on the cluster 43.9 MPG. So actually a little bit higher than I was expecting. Thank you, Jeeves. And this is great. You know, EPA is 45. Like I said, with the lower testing speed that EPA does, we never really see hybrids meet their EPA highway rating, but this one is actually pretty dang close. So we'll have to see once we get to the pump if this 44-ish MPG is accurate. Otherwise, though, I've had a pretty good drive tonight in the Kia Niro. These driver aids have done a really good job keeping me in the lanes. The adaptive cruise does a pretty good job. I have found a little bit with Kias that sometimes they are a little bit safe with the adaptive cruise, meaning that they follow a little bit far even with distance one, and then also when you're changing lanes to go around, they do take a little bit longer than I would like. But otherwise, the Harman Kardon is actually pretty dang good. It's like one of the best I've heard in a Kia. Maybe just because this is the newest generation. This is a brand new car or a brand new body style for 23, so maybe they're finally figuring out their tuning with this Harman Kardon. But anyways, I'm going to finish up my last few miles here, and I'll let you all know once I have brimmed the tank on the Kia Niro hybrid. 2.274 gallons going in there for our final fill. Apologies for the garbage advertising here on the gas pump. No Maria Menounos today, though. Okay, 2.274. Let's see how we did. Today's trip was 102.32 miles. Go ahead and divide that by the 2.274 gallons of regular fuel that we put into this Niro hybrid, and that gives us 44.99. Rounding up, of course, there to 45 MPG, exactly EPA's rating, which honestly is pretty impressive for this car. I was not expecting it to meet that at the higher average speed. So pretty dang good here for this Kia Niro, 45 MPG. Let's go ahead and multiply that now by the 11.1 gallon fuel tank, a little bit of a smaller tank, and that still actually gives you an effective highway cruising range of 490 miles. So pretty close to that 500 mile mark. Honestly, better than I thought this thing was going to do, so kudos to Kia for making an efficient little wagon here. 45 MPG and pretty dang close to 500 miles of effective highway cruising range. So there you go. Pretty efficient little car, and if you want to learn more about the Kia Niro hybrid, make sure you check the links in our description. That'll lead you to all of our other videos on it, the sound system test, as well as the full review. But as for the fuel economy test, that'll wrap it up for us today. Thank you all so much for watching. This has been Chris here with Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.